phones. You probably know that they come loaded with high-end specs and premium build quality. You probably know that they're sold online for pretty aggressive prices. And you probably also know that they give the best phones from Samsung, Apple, and Google a good run for their money, OnePlus 5. The 5 carries a lot of the same traits as its predecessor, the 3T. It's got an all-aluminum premium quality build, the fastest processor you can get from Qualcomm, and it's also got a couple of new tricks, like a new dual lens camera, and it does have a new price that's a little bit higher than before. Let's start with the basics. The OnePlus 5 costs $479 for the 64GB model, or $539 for the 128 version. The same 5.5-inch 16:9 1080p AMOLED display as last year. This display is fine, it's bright and sharp and colorful, and you can see it outdoors, Galaxy S8 or LG's G6. The design of the OnePlus 5 is more rounded and curved than the squarish 3T was, and it's going to be instantly recognizable to most people. It's basically a slightly smaller iPhone 7 Plus. The dual camera is in the exact same spot as the iPhones, and so are these curved antenna lines. It also has a super fast fingerprint scanner right on the front below the screen. But it does have some unique OnePlus touches, like this ringer switch, which makes it really easy to turn the ringer on and off. Now, I've been using the 8GB model, and it's super fast. Everything opens really quickly, everything happens very quickly. 5 is faster than the Galaxy S8, for example, because it doesn't have the S8's animations or fluidity. It kind of feels like the OnePlus 5 is running on fast forward, which isn't always the best experience. Inside is also a 3300 mAh battery, which in my experience is enough to last a full day with medium to heavy use, not mind-blowing. For software, the OnePlus 5 runs Android 7.1.1 Nougat, with OnePlus's modifications on top of it. You're probably going to appreciate this. So the OnePlus doesn't produce amazing images. The 16-megapixel camera doesn't have optical stabilization, which leads to softer images in low light. And the 20-megapixel camera with the longer lens has smaller pixels and not as bright of a lens. All of this adds up to lower quality images in low light, especially compared to what you can get from an S8, a Pixel, an HTC U11, or even an iPhone. To make matters worse, the portrait mode that's supposed to mimic a DSLR is more miss than hit. Far too often it blurs too aggressively or doesn't blur all of the areas that a real camera would. Most of the time it looks pretty fake. Then there are other decisions on Verizon or Sprint. So this is the OnePlus 5. It's faster and better looking than ever, but it's got a failed camera gimmick and a less attractive price tag. That pricing really makes this calculus change. For just a little bit more, you can get a phone with waterproofing, a better camera, and more forward-looking designs. Now that isn't to say the OnePlus 5 is a bad phone. Most people will be able to look right past its iPhone-like design and mediocre